mountain out, man. Make a brew. Dippy dip dip.
I don't know if I missed the path or what. My bag is heavy, you know. Look at this bad boy. Can someone tell me in the comments what these are from? Now, although I have parked at that car park before, the last time I were here, I went up Fleet with Pike and then over to Haystacks where I did a wild camp. Today, we're doing something completely different because I've got 3 fresh Wainwrights to bag. Slowly ticking them off the list, and as always, we're out for a wild camp. That's the route I did last time, straight up there, up onto Fleet with Pike, all the way around, and then up onto Haystacks. Today I'm going to be following Buttermere for about 2 miles in that direction, and then we're going to be working his way around this side and then hopefully come back down here somewhere. That's the rough plan anyway. Obviously I'm a little bit flexible and I'm not sure which of those 3 mountains I'm going to camp on. We'll just have to see how we get on. Love to see Highland cows down in Lake District. The 3 Wainwrights that we're heading up are Red Pike, High Stile and then High Crag, and hopefully, as long as we're good for time, we'll be doing a wild camp on the 3rd peak, which is High Crag. Weather-wise, I'll be honest with you, it's not looking that great. I can't even see the tops of the fells that we're walking up because there's bits of clag rolling in and out. We have had snow on some of the highest fells. I don't think there's any on the ones that we're camping up. I am trying to have a look just through them trees. Like I say, a little bit claggy. If you was doing the circular walk around Buttermere, you'd keep walking along the path that I've just been on, and then when you get to these gates and this footbridge, obviously you'd turn right and follow it around that side back to the car park. We're actually going to be heading left somewhere. Well, I say left, that's the gates, that's that footbridge. I presumed we'd be heading towards that footbridge, but we actually go directly back on ourselves and then up these steps. Well, we've had it proper easy those first couple miles, but this is where the big climb begins. Now I've started working hard on the ascent, I'm going to do myself a favour before I get too hot and take this body warmer off, because you don't really want to be sweating on the ascent, because once we get up to the top it's going to be a hell of a lot colder, and if I build up too much sweat on the hike up, then I'm going to be freezing when I get there. And it's always nice to be able to bang an extra layer on. We're above that initial tree line now. There's a few more on the right, but they'll soon be gone. And now we're heading right up there into the clouds. Stunning views though. According to the map today, it's only looking like we've got to hike 5.1 mile to get to the 3rd peak, which is High Pike, where I'm hoping to spend the night. The first couple mile have been relatively easy, nice and flat, a little scenic route walking along the side of Buttermere. So once we get this crazy ascent out of the way, it should be relatively easy. Obviously I'm saying that now, but we have got another 2 Wainwrights to bag after this first one. And you know what they say, nothing truly great comes easy. Completely different scenes up here. So I just passed Bleaberry Tarn and I just had a little chat with a guy that watches the videos called Mark. So a shout out to you. And then within 5 minutes of walking further up the hill or the mountain, full snow conditions. It's actually snowing a little bit now. It's more sleet, but I'd rather that than rain. I don't think it should be too much further now. As you can see, I'm not really sure where the top is. But there, look, it's quickly cleared up. So that's where we're heading. And then we'll be going left. You can just see that tarn that I were on about down there. I don't know if I missed the path or what, but well, it's scrambly in this section. And you can see by the amount of frost and ice on all the rocks just how cold it is. But I can see some footprints, so that's all I'm following. But we are in a little bit of a gully bit here, but we should just pop out any second now. I've slipped. Right, come on, last bit. Hopefully we're near the summit now. In fact, I think this could be it. I'm gonna spin you around. It's just up there. This is it. Different world up here, I'm telling you. Freezing as well. I need to get some gloves on and I need to get the waterproof on. But for now, boom shanker, red pike in the bag. Right, we've quickly got some views. Very quickly. So we're going to be heading that way, right up onto that one. You can see where we've come from down there, past that tarn, all the way up there. Turned left at that point, up onto Red Pike. Now we just follow it round, right up there. I'm roughly about 4 miles in, and it's at this point that I start to realise my bag is heavy, you know. I have packed it with all sorts for this trip. You know me, when it comes to these winter camps, I don't really do it lightly. One of the questions that I get asked a lot in the comments is how much does your pack weigh? And to be completely honest with you, I have no idea. In winter, it's heavy. That's all I can say. It is very heavy. I've got a chopping board that literally weighs more than one of my tents. So for winter, I tend not to worry too much about the weight, which is why I bring all sorts of garbage with me. Stuff that when I'm doing a long distance hike, I wouldn't bother with. Say for example, the other week when I was doing the, what were it called again? That vet. The Harriet Way, that's the fella. When I was doing the Harriet Way, obviously because I was doing quite a few miles over a number of days, I did keep my eye on the weight. I still didn't weigh the pack, but I just kept stuff to a minimum. Whereas when it's something like this, a 7-8 mile circular route in winter, I'm not bothered. Just get my biggest pack and load it up to the brim. I'd rather have a heavy pack packed to rafters and go through the struggle of carting it up here, but then once we're all pitched up, we'll be rewarded with all those luxuries, and then we can have a comfortable camp with some decent grub and a few treats because we've earned it and we deserve it. Simple as that. I'm not quite sure which is the summit for this second one. This looks quite prominent with the metal piece. Whoa, I thought that was stuck in the ground then. So I've bagged this one, but then on my map it's actually showing the Wainwright as to be a little bit further on. so we'll go tap out on that one as well, just to be sure. But what I can say is, ow, just tripped up. What I can say is, what a view from up here. Never does it justice on these action cams. Once again, I'm not sure which is the top. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 over there. So I guess we'll do them all. 1. 2. Yeah, forget number 3, it's well lower. So that's it, we've done it. That's the second Wainwright of the day done. High Stile. Now, on to High Crag, which I think is that one over there. Can you see that? That's the beast we're going up next. And that is where we are spending the night. Can I see a tent? I hope not. Won't be happy if there is. Because it only looks like a small summit. To be fair, I'm not even sure we'll get a tent up there. But he'll be right. We'll find something. Either way, even if we've got to come back on a self, pitch somewhere up here. Tell you what, I'm not a big fan of these rab gloves. I bought them because they've got this sort of grippy side and they're relatively thin, so it's good for holding onto crags and boulders and whatnot. I've already had to cut an hole in one of the thumbs just so I can use my phone, which you shouldn't be having to do really, should you? Although it doesn't look like we're actually clagged in, although those clouds look grim over there. Look at that for a life-ending bit of metal. Imagine falling over, landing on that in ribs or something. Oof. Jeez. I'm guessing it was one of these fences, or not fences, whatever it is. Well, yeah, fences. There's loads of these on this route once you get up onto the top. But I'm not sure what they're going to be fencing in. You can see them all the way across, look. Unless they are literally there just for navigational purposes instead of cairns, but I very much doubt it, and they look very old, so God knows how long they've been here for. I opted for the body warmer earlier instead of the waterproof. Kind of regretting it now, because that wind is cutting right through this Senchi. And I'm now starting, if you can hear me properly, we're now starting the final little climb of the day. Getting, but not long now, so we can pitch up the tent and chill out for the night. Look at this bad boy. Can someone tell me in the comments what these are from? Surely that just can't be a fence. Look at the bolt on that. Looks like it'd be from, I don't know, some machinery or something. There's another one of these life-ending metal poles sticking out of the ground as well. I don't like them. They look like bloody Hilleberg pegs. Y pegs. Apart from 10 times size. I really am banking on the summit to be completely different to all this. Because as it stands, I wouldn't get a tent anywhere on here. This is it. High Crag in the bag. Oh, they bagged it mush. For once, I've actually checked where the wind's going to be coming from. And it's coming from the east, so that means ideally we could do with being pitched this side of the summit. Typically it looks like at that side of the summit there's no flat grass sections, not from what I can see anyway. This looks like a straight drop. So we are going to have to pitch in this direction. So for once I actually check, but I can't do all about it. Luckily, I've got the tent for it. The tent doesn't care. The tent is screaming for the wind. Give me some wind. Right, so we have got... can't really pitch on that. It's really lumpy bumpy and rocky. Let's have a little look up here. See what we've got. See what we're dealing with. If I can find one spot that I know we can pitch there, then at least that's a backup. Then I can spend the next 10 minutes just to see if I can find somewhere a little bit better, and then we know we've got that original spot just in case. So I reckon if we really had to, we can pitch down here. I say that's because from far away it looks fine, but then when you get there it's just as rocky as everywhere else. Literally in the direction of the wind typically, but this is looking very promising. Yeah, I think this is it. Although now looking at it again, it's not even flat whatsoever. There is that flat? It's flat enough, innit? It's grassy, that's what matters. These little bits of rock every now and then, but we can work around that. I reckon we can get it there somewhere. Once the clips are all on, it's worth going round having a double check before you put this top cap on. Just make sure that you've not missed any, because if you miss one clip, that could be a weak point then. To make it easier for myself, when I aired the tent out after the last camp, I tied all my guy lines up just to stop them getting all tangled up when the tent's in its tent bag. And there we are, all pitched up in the Hilleberg Staika, the absolute bomb shelter. Now before I get my stuff inside the tent, I'm just going to nip back up to the summit while we've got a bit of daylight and just try scope out the path for tomorrow, just in case it's all clagged in. If we need to bounce in an emergency, it's nice to have some sort of idea of where I'm headed, just in case. Well, it looks like that was pretty pointless, because now I've got up here, yeah, it's all clagged in, man. Whoa, nearly had my ankle wankle. Yeah, all clagged in, can't see out, and it is a little bit windier up here. So just where we've pitched, slightly off the summit, if I show you now, you might be able to see 10. There you go, look. That little red number down there, that's my tent, that one. Just by being a tiny little bit off the summit, it's made a little bit of a difference. Unless that were just a gust that's coming. Mate, looking from here, that tent is on the piss. There's no way that is a flat pitch. I'm going to have to get inside and have a look. There's no what I can do about it now. Certainly not moving it. Can't be arsed. Can't really tell from close up, but looks like it's well wonky from far away. See, them gusts, they don't really bother this tent too much. You can see right back down into the farm where we've parked. And that there is Fleetwith Pike, what we went up last time. So it is a case of going back down this side and we'll sort of join where we came down Haystacks last time. Let's get in this tent. Oh, what a zip. You don't know zips until you open a Hilleberg zip. That is luxury right there. Smooth as you like. One little thing I am wary of is the spikes on these trekking poles. So I'm going to take them out now before I cause some damage. I might even just leave them out here. Just stick them in ground like that. That'll do. Even the toggles, man. I just love this tent. In fact, it's got 2 toggles. You don't even need 2 toggles. And you get 2. Let's see how flat this pitch is then. Oh God. I'm sure we'll manage. Because it's a 2-manner, at this far end, it's quite flat. It's just this side that starts sloping down. So I will be cushy with that. And the first thing I want to get out of my bag is this bad boy. A simple foil mat from Amazon or eBay. Cost me about £5, and it just keeps your ass off that cold ground. One of the best things about this tent for me, personally, you can literally pitch it in any direction. You don't have to worry about the wind. Obviously, you don't really want the wind blowing directly through the doors if you can help it. I've only got it facing this way because that is, well, how we're going to say, that's where the view is. Not much of a view right now, but if I was cooking or whatever, I can just close this door, work my way around this side and open this door, and then we'll be cushy. Whereas one of the other options that I were going to get, the Namach or the Namach GT, man, I love them 2 tents. I really like the look of them. Because those 2 are tunnel tents, albeit really strong tunnel tents, how they handle the wind will depend on which direction you pitch it. Whereas with this tent, I know it handles the wind exactly the same, whatever direction. So you can just plonk it down with whatever has the best view. So that was just one of the factors as to why I chose this. And because it's freestanding, so you can just plonk it down wherever you want and you don't actually need to peg it out. Not that I'd ever recommend doing that when you're on top of a mountain, just in case that wind arrived, because then your tent would be off skis, gone in a bit. Oh, that's much better. All in the warm gear now. Well, the down jacket anyway, and the woolly hat. Oh, and can you believe, remember earlier I was banging on about them rab gloves? I had my rab mitts in one of the pockets on my rucksack, so I could have had them on instead to navigate on the phone, because then when you get cold you can just flap the mitt over. So the time is 27 minutes past 5, so it's not going to be long now until it is pitch black. That wind is freezing. I know I said about these mitts, but still the fingers are out. I can barely feel them. What do you think of this hat anyway? The Leave No Trace merch will be in the description, and I'll pin it in the top comments. So we've got this beanie, we've got loads of other merch, fresh t-shirts, hoodies, caps, you name it. And these are available in a few different colours as well. Proper embroidery as well, not messing about. Nicely embroidered, little peace sign and that, you know what I'm saying? Let's get in that tent, because it is nipply out here. -2 so far, but when that wind hits those fingertips, woo! It feels colder than that. In fact, before we get in, let's flap these flaps. Come on. Hard that with one hand. And again. Before it gets fully dark, in fact, yeah, we'll be able to find us way back. Let's just go on a little mooch because we ain't got long, have we? Make sure I've got my phone. Yeah, I've got my phone just in case we need a little torchlight, or if we fall over and cack ourselves. Let's have a little mooch over here, see if we can see any views. Yeah, not really. We got a little bit of crummock water poking through, and then we've got whatever that one is, I can't even remember it, and we only bagged it earlier. Is it Stile? Yeah, that's the one. And then we've got our beast, and that is actually an alright little pitch in it there. I feel the need to make most of it just while it's still light, to be out and about around the tent, just because of how long we're going to be stuck in that tent for once it gets dark. But I need to put my big gloves on, I think, because yeah, those tippies, man, finger tippies. Oh, I need to get some food inside me. As a little starter, I'm going to have a couple of potato cakes. These are good because apart from them being really nice, they cook really fast and really easy. Now they are better grilled. I didn't bring that toaster thing this time, but I've cooked them in a pan before like this, and potato cakes aren't the same without butter as well. This stuff is actually decent, you know. Obviously it's a Lurpak rip-off, but it's a lot cheaper and it's still quite nice. Not exactly a knife for spreading butter, but it'll do the job. Here, anyway, you can't knock the commitment. I'll do 4 years carrying this sucker around. I'd say they look pretty much done to me. Happy with that. Slap a bit of butter on. All is good. Spreadable my arse. Will be frozen solid, man. Look at that there, look at that. Oh. Although I'm not cooking my tea yet, I am just going to prep some of this broccoli, just so it's done. That'll do, won't it? Plenty of that there. I bring all this sort of stuff with me, and I forgot the basics: salt and pepper. Luckily, I've got some of this fajita mix, which I'm pretty sure will contain salt and pepper, which it does, amongst other things. So I think that will go quite nice, to be fair. So we'll bang a little bit of that on. I reckon that'll do a job, don't you? Plenty on there. Right then, scran time. Whoa! I've whacked in a full pack of tender stem broccoli. Oh. Jesus! I've whacked in a full pack of tender stem broccoli. Now I'm just going to add a bit of garlic paste. I'm not going to add too much though, because I'm going to use that with the steak. Oh, smells so good, man. Cannot wait for this. Well, it might not win for presentation, but for simplicity and taste, it's going to be a banger. Medium rare, as steak should be, in my opinion. Proper flavoursome. That garlic and that butter, as well as that seasoning I put on. Broccoli. Oh. Whoa. Can taste that seasoning, man. Got a little kick to it, this, you know. Chipotle and smoked cumin seasoning mix. And it's got 4 chilies out of 5. So it's a spicy little number, but it goes well with steak and broccoli. And just when I thought it couldn't get any better, I forgot to add some mayo to the mix. Can't beat mayo. I remember doing a reel a few weeks ago on Insta. If you're not following me on Insta, then it's at Good Bloke Outdoors. Make sure you follow me, Mike. Anyway, I did a reel a couple of weeks ago saying what is your favourite sauce. At the time, I was having red sauce on my sausage baguette from Greg's. But I'll be honest, my favourite sauce by far has got to be good old mayo. What is your top 3 sauces? Pause the video or scroll down or get your phone out if you're watching it on telly. Find the video and drop a comment. I want top 3 sauces. Well, that scran was absolutely banging. I'm going to have a chocolate waffle in a minute. I'm just going to nip outside, take a quick leak, do the usual check round the tent, even though I don't really need to because nought's changed routine. And then I'll be back in to make a nice... I'm not going to undo that elastic before putting your foot in. That's better. And then I'll come back in and make a nice brew as well. Oh, big shout out to my brother Ben for giving me this tripod. It's one of them Joby, I don't know what you call them, but you can bend them round stuff so you can attach it to like branches or top of your tent or whatever. Or you can just use it as a bit of a selfie stick, however you like, but it's good for filming inside the tent. Keep it nice and low and that. This is my second camera, so it's nice to have a lightweight tripod, and it just fits in my own chest pod. So if I need a little second cam, this is the one I use. So cheers Ben, appreciate it brother. See you on Saturday for a big feed. Few arrows, all that good shit. Anyway, let's go outside and have a look. You're currently plugged in the light to a power bank, so I'm going to stick that in my pocket and then carry the tripod. Oh, the difference when you get off at firm rest onto normal mat. Wrong way boss. Let's lean down. Oh, it's such a big vestibule. Gotta do all that stretching. Let's have a look. Let's check temperature as well while we're here. Shut that door so we don't have hot blowing away. Let's have a look. Still -2, so that hasn't even changed. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Not -2 bad. What's that doing? That's hardly in, is it? But it'll be right, that. Tent's cushy, I don't really need to tighten it at all. Let's have a look round. Why not? There's a big fat rock down here. Luckily, with this little pull-out point, it's just missed it. And even if the wind was to come in, it's not pressing on it. So I got lucky with that one. because it is quite a big tent, it's got quite a big footprint. You can't always guarantee you're going to find a good spot. Oh, put that hood up, man. And it makes it even worse when it's snowing, because you can't see the little rocks and stuff underneath the grass. So it's just a bit of pot luck sometimes. But we've managed it. Hopefully I'm not sliding about on this slanty floor. Should be all good, man. I'm sure with these tents, well, I say I'm sure, I know for certain, they usually have the person's name that made it. I just can't remember where, and I've not checked on this one. It's not on the label. I'm sure it's on part of the inner. Let's have a look. There it is, look. Made in, let me bend that round for you. Made in Estonia, made by Kati Muru. For some reason I feel like I recognise that name. Now I could be wrong, but it might be the same person that made my solo. I'm going to have a little check when I get home and find out. So I think I am going to make a brew, and then I'm actually going to dedicate an hour to going through some YouTube comments and replying to some of you guys, because I'm really struggling to keep up to date with the comments. But I do read every single one. I promise you I read them all. I just can't always reply to them all. So what I tend to do is I do try to respond to like questions where I feel like I can help you by giving an answer. Obviously if someone says good video or nice video mate, I'll just heart it and like it. But I really do appreciate all the comments that everyone drops. Even more so those ones that are like, I've been watching your videos and I've gone out on my first hike thanks to this certain video or whatever. That, honestly, big ups for that. That's what it's all about. I'm certainly not here to be no role model or out like that. I just do what I do and enjoy it. But if I can encourage anyone to just go on a little micro adventure, mini adventure, whatever you want to call it, even if you're not mountaineering and all that crap, get out, go for a walk around your local park, around your local woods, whatever. Find a little nature reserve, have a brew, buy one of these cheap little stoves. Get you some on eBay, buy a cheap little stove for 15 quid, get a bit of gas, and just go make yourself a brew somewhere out in nature. Because I know a lot of you that watch this don't actually go camping and that, because you tell me in the comments. But if you can just get out, spend a little bit more time outside, you'll enjoy it, you'll feel better for it. Anyway, stop rambling on, get a brew made, and get a chocolate waffle down here. Take one of these as well. Get yourself out, man. Make a brew. Dippy dip dip. Bitey bite bite. Good night. It's not really good night, but it just rhymed. Let's get this kettle on. Leave no trace. Kettle's on. I'm not sure what to have to drink, so I've got Yorkshire tea, a couple of them. I've got some Moroccan tea. I've got a, I'm not sure what this is, caramel latte. We've got, what else have we got? We've got some normal tea bags, which are the same as the Yorkshire tea, but probably not Yorkshire tea. Got a hot chocolate. I've got, what are these? Twinings everyday, rich and full bodied. Same again, I think that's just a normal cup of tea. Not sure. So out of all them, I think we're going to go for not a Yorkshire tea. Let's go for a Moroccan tea. They are my favourite teas right now, I think. I've got some milk as well from Mackey's. Cheers, Mackey's. Cheers to the milk, Mackey's. Big up yourself. Oh, and I've got some mayo as well. What's that doing in the tea bag? Ah, tea bag. Tea bag. Cup of tits. Ah! Hot. Hot, hot, hot. Oh, we're going to do a dippy dip dip with that waffle, wanna? Can't be dipping into a Moroccan
tea. These are better when they're grilled, aren't they? Ah, for some reason my thumb is burning hot. I think I just burnt my thumb then. Somehow. Oh, you bugger. Could have a Mr. Lister there in the morning. Oh, dropping bear crumbs on my mouldy thermarest. Still haven't fixed that. Or cleaned that, should I say. Right then, legends, I'm going to call it a night and get some well-deserved rest because I'm going to be up nice and early in the morning. The sunrise is at, let me just quickly check, 7:37. God, it's good to see the daylight hours lasting longer now. Can't beat it. So, I'll see you lot in the morning. Laters. Let's get this dimmer on. We're going to go for dimmer effect all the way down to lowest, and then I'm going to turn it off. See you later.
Oh, good morning world. It is nipply out here this morning, let me tell you now. So I had a relatively good sleep. The wind started picking up a little bit early hours, so I've sort of been on and off from like 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. It's now about 7:45. It is -4 on the old temperatures. So that's not too bad. Oh, -3.8 straight away as soon as I pick it up. That's because of my gloves. So -4 temps, and it is actually quite clear this morning. We didn't get a sunrise. I had a peek out and I couldn't really see out.
Let me show you what we're dealing with in here. What a mess. What a mess.
There we have it, all packed up. Leave no trace, as always. Now we just need to find us way off this mountain and safely back to the car. Back on the summit again. Give it another little tap for good luck. Now it looks to me like this is going to be a sketchy descent. Whichever way we go seems to be very steep. And it does seem a lot icier today than it did yesterday, so we're going to need to take great care. Hopefully you can hear me alright. So we've got haystacks right in front of us, Fleetwith Pike to the left, but then if you look beyond haystacks, That there is Green Gable, where we camped the other week. Next to it we've got Great Gable, and then if you look all the way through to the back end, look at the back I mean, you can see Scafell Pike just there I think. I'm just tickling it, and then Scafell next to it. Might have done that wrong there. Scafell Pike and Scafell. I'm so glad I decided to put this windbreaker on, or this waterproof on, because that wind is bitter. It really is. Yeah, this looks sound. It just sort of zigzags all the way down, and then once we get to that bit there where you can't see the snow, I've been there before and I camped on haystacks, and I know that bit is just meandering round back to that farm. And when I mentioned up there about Green Gable and Great Gable, so directly in between them two is the Windy Gap, but this is looking from the other side, not from the way that we went up last time. So we're literally at the opposite end. This is where I could get back home and start editing it and find out that you can't even hear half of this stuff, which is why I'm shouting, because of the wind. Can I just say, once you get past that little scrambly scree section near the top, this path is banging all the way down. So a massive thank you to Wainwright for building these paths. He is truly a legend. And this is where we were yesterday. We came through this gate and then we walked along that path side by side with Buttermere. Right then gangsters, that is me back in the whip, safe and sound, after another successful camp. So what Wainwrights did we bag? We did red pike, high stile, and then high pike, while camping on high pike. That is a nice little steady route that. For just an overnighter, when you're carrying heavy gear, it's not too strenuous. It's a simple route to navigate. I reckon even if the weather was bad, as in like fully clagged out, white out, whatever, I reckon you'd be able to navigate that one. You can use that little tarn as like a halfway point if you want to have a little break as you get up that first bit of ascent. But yeah, all in all, it's a decent hike. Tell you what though, I've done what I always do. How many layers have I got on? I've got my base layer, I've got my Senchi, which can be used as a base layer, I've got my gilet, and then I've got my waterproof on. No wonder I'm sweating. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, really appreciate the support. Make sure you give the video a big thumbs up. Drop a comment, let me know what you think. If you've got anywhere that you want me to camp, let me know in the comments. And if you've just got any questions in general, bang them in comments and I will try my best to answer them. Make sure you click subscribe if you're not done already. If you press that bell button when you've subscribed, then you'll get notified whenever I upload a video. Although I do videos every Monday at 7 PM, without fail, we don't mess about on this channel, I might do the odd midweek video from time to time. So just so you're aware of that going up on the old YouTube, you might want to press that bell button. Don't forget to check out the merch store. We've got caps, we've got beanies, we've got bucket hats, we've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, all sorts of different designs. And I will be updating the website as often as I can to freshen up on the merch. If you want to support the channel, you can join the Patreon, you can buy me a coffee, or you can send some cashish over on the old PayPal. But just by you watching these videos is more than enough for me. Right, thanks again for watching. Did you hear my belly rumble then? I am Hank Marvin. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace out.
in a bit.